Excuse me, sir, what's your name? Were you on the winning team today? Yes. You were? Did you score any baskets? Yes. Very good. Okay.
All right, what's up, y'all, and welcome back to Athlete Alchemy, a community where we explore the stories of athletes and professionals in and around sports who are on the journey of transforming their athletic potential into lifelong excellence. I'm your host, Walt Pegues. And joining me today, man, is a very, very special guest. Me and his brother have gotten to connect, man, over the last few weeks or so, and it's been a pleasure to connect with Charles. And I'm very excited, man, for Charles Del Valle to share his story with the Athlete Alchemy community, man. Charles is an entrepreneur. He is a servant leader. He is someone that is doing amazing things in his own lane, but also, man, really providing opportunities to young people like myself, but also to other former athletes out there, like you all that are listening, man. Charles Del Valle, former college football athlete, but he's doing so much more now. Charles, man, welcome to the platform, brother.
Thanks so much, Walt. It's really a pleasure to be here. Wow, what an introduction. I'm so excited about just being able to share my story, but also share just some insights and some ways other athletes out there can really take advantage of the opportunities they have currently, even if they're playing or even not playing, and being able to give them hope and be able to use their gift, man, in a powerful way. So excited to be here.
Absolutely, man. I start every episode out with giving my guests their flowers, man. Me and you, man, like I said, we just connected, honestly, over the last month or so. We were talking about our guy, Vadley, who's a mutual, friend, a mutual person that we both been connected to. So me and Charles, we met through Purpose Over Position. They had a huddle, a virtual conference where me and Charles landed in the same breakout room, and I call that God, right? Like landed in the same breakout room. We both got an opportunity to kind of just share a little bit about ourselves. But from the moment that you spoke in that breakout room, I'm like, yo, this brother is doing amazing things. We're all kind of in different spaces, different facets of our lives right now, but we're all in that call in particular, right? We're all navigating kind of what's next, but also our identity, and in that particular room as well, in that particular call, our faith as well, which is so big in our stories. But you, man, the way you spoke and just about your journey and the things that you're doing was I saw the passion right away, and I had to you followed up with me through the Zoom, and then I had to follow up right away via text just to connect, man. And someone like you, I saw didn't know too much about you from that call. But immediately, man, once I started following you, on Instagram, but then when me and you had the opportunity to connect a few weeks after that, man, just the passion that you have for really supporting other people, man, it's so important, man, because people like myself, people like a lot of the athletes that are in our Athlete Alchemy community, we're all trying to figure these things out, right? We all have certain skills, we all have certain abilities, and a lot of us, we utilize those things through the sport. For me and you both, it was probably football. But the beautiful thing is, like, we have so much other potential outside of that sport that can impact so many more people. So for you, man, to be able to do that in a variety of different ways that I'm sure you're going to kind of share kind of how you got to that point. But man, what you're doing through not just the Instagram page that's very popping, that I'm sure a lot of our football listeners will know about. But now, man, your new endeavor, man, I'm so excited about this opportunity. You with the coaching background and everything like that, man, it's so powerful and impactful, and the community needs it, bro. So I want you to definitely know that the community needs which you are providing us with, man. And I'm super excited for you to share your story, but also to continue to see the impact that you'll have in the world, honestly, bro. So greatly appreciate you for spending some time with me today.
For sure, man. Absolutely. Wow. Yo, Walt, man, you gonna blow up, bro. These introductions are amazing, man. I feel so inspired, and feel like, man, I really I can't wait to continue to share about what my journey has been like, and how to help, man. But thank you again, bro. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And always got to take it back, man, to the roots, man. Tell me a little bit about, your upbringing, man, and where you grew up, man. The people would love to know where young Charles, his journey started.
Yeah, so my journey started in a small town called Plainfield, New Jersey. So any Jersey heads out there, this is one of the best states for football. Just want to put it out there. But yeah, man. So I grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey, single mom household, And one of my things that I actually realized growing up was I wasn't actually very athletic when I was younger. I'm gonna just say that right off the jump, man. So I was a little chunky kid, you know what I mean? Had my hairline had like a rainbow on it and stuff. Like it was kind of crazy, bro. Like it was kind of crazy, man. So I never thought that athletics or sports would even be a part of my life. I actually remembered when I was in my it was in my kindergarten class, you know how they asked the kids, "Hey, what do you want to do when you grow up?" And one of the things that I wrote down is I want to be a mechanic, right? And I'm telling you, man, I still to this day, I'm 35 years old. I don't know nothing about cars, bro. Like, I can't even change my own car oil or nothing, you know? So, but it's kind of funny how you grow up and you kind of experiment and kind of learn, like, hey, what am I going to do? Who am I going to be? And, those teachers start asking you those questions. But fast forward, growing up, sports became part of my life, man. Like, when I was in middle school, and I was playing backyard football at my cousin's house. And so we would just throw the ball around, run some routes and stuff like that. And I was just learning the game. And one of the things that I realized I could do is I could catch the ball a little bit. I had a little bit of speed on me. And I didn't know that for myself, but my cousin was like, "Hey man, like you could actually run a little bit. You can catch the ball. You're not super unathletic. Gotta lose a couple pounds, but you got a little something there." You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and then kind of this light bulb moment happened for me because I was still trying to figure out what my hobbies were. Even though I was really young, I knew I loved wrestling. I loved like WWE wrestling. And I also love Pokemon. And so that was kind of was really in my life at the time. But when he said that to me, there was a light bulb that went on in my head, and I was just like, "Oh wow, like could I possibly be an athlete?" And so 2 months later, there was so my middle school football team had tryouts. And so 2 months later, my cousin like said, "Yo, you should go try out." And I was like, "Oh man, I don't know." I remember being so nervous, and I couldn't do Pop Warner because I was past the weight limit. Like there was no way I was going to make it in Pop Warner.
Yeah.
So it was
Yep.
like, cause they got weight limits for that. So
Uh-huh.
I was not going to be able to get in on that. So I did try it out for the middle school team. And man, like after the first tryout, like I talked to the coach the next day and he was like, "Hey, you made the team." I was like, "What? I made the team?" I remember being so shocked and excited. And honestly, at this point in my life, I did have a number of struggles, man. Like I was bullied a lot growing up, and I was pretty overweight. And I would just eat, my grandmother, she kept feeding me, man. I'm not blaming grandma. Grandma, I love you. That food good.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she'll feed you, man. It don't matter. Like, I don't think, that food banging, but still most of my upbringing and stuff, man, I wasn't really athletic. I wasn't really active, but that first, after finding out that I actually made the team, it built this confidence in me, that I actually can do something productive and I can be active in those things. And then after that season, man, I lost so much weight. I lost so much. I didn't even look the same. If you look at my pictures from middle school, from that middle school practice to the end of that season, but I'm not the same person anymore. So I'm now in this space where I'm like starting to find like, wait a minute, I love sports. And I remember watching my first Super Bowl that year. I remember looking up like some of my favorite athletes. Ray Lewis became my favorite athlete, by the way. So Ray Lewis was a guy I was following a lot. I even got his number for my jersey. I didn't know what number I was going to be. So I was like, I'll do Ray Lewis number 52. And it was just such a pivotal moment in my life and ever since I haven't turned back. I've been part of sports and it's been part of my life ever since, man. So yeah, man, that's a little bit about my upbringing and how I even got into sports.
Yeah, man.
Unique,
And
man.
shout out to your cousin, man. Shout out to your cousin for seeing something in you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for real, changing your outlook on a lot of things, I'm sure, man. And definitely Plainfield, New Jersey. I'm a Philly guy, so familiar with the South Jersey roots or whatnot. Or is that closer to that's closer to South Jersey, right?
Well, they kind of say that Central Jersey doesn't really
Okay.
exist. There's a whole debate about that, but
Uh-huh.
it's like right in the middle, right in the border
Okay.
of North and South. So
Got you. Okay.
yeah.
No, yeah, and that's a beautiful, beautiful story, man, about how like football and sports in general. I think, for me, were kind of how I started to become confident in who I was as well. Whether it was the actual field, or whether it was just the playground with my guys, man, I felt like I could always like tap into this other version of myself in a way,
Mm,
and kind of just like, you know, be a leader. Like I think on the playground, at recess is kind of where I first started to kind of gain my like leadership skills, because
right.
I didn't have the coaches to tell me, what to do, or like any adults to tell me what to do. I'm like, all right, I can do this. I can lead my guys without that. So I always definitely reflect on like my first moments as a
Yeah.
football player, in the schoolyard, just with the guys, and starting to really become a leader, man. So I can definitely resonate with that start a lot, man. And then for you, speaking specifically about like football, you said Ray Lewis was one of those people that you really look to as an inspiration. But for you, when did you like start to see like football could potentially be some type of vehicle to get you to where you wanted to go next?
Yeah, so no, that's a great question. One of my biggest goals for me was to go to the NFL. I mean, that was every young kid's dream, to go to the pros, to hear your name called on draft day. I mean, that was like the biggest thing for me. And so most of my life was actually dedicated towards that. The way I trained, I even went to play college football in North Park University. It was a D3 small Christian school, and yeah, and I also had other scholarships to play like NAIA. I don't know if you heard of that
Hmm.
conference, but you have that as well. So yeah, so for me, I was bent on that. But what ended up happening was, I remember before I graduated senior year in high school, I ended up looking up schools on my own and trying to like, get recruited and things like that. And I remember sending out different letters to different schools. I mean, I sent a bunch, D1, D2, D3, even junior college as well, JUCO. And time after time after time, I'm getting like rejection letters, man. Like, oh man, sorry, bro. We don't have any scholarships, or we don't feel like you'll be a good fit for the program. So like over and over again, there was kind of this rejection that was happening, and which started to make me feel insecure, right? Especially I'll even say at the time, I also didn't really believe in God like that. I didn't even grow up in faith, by the way. Just so it's funny because now my coaching business is all about faith based and principles. But at the time, I didn't really know. So for me, that rejection I felt on a very deep level, right? And I didn't really have a God to go to and talk to with that stuff. And so I felt hurt, man. I felt rejected. I felt hurt, and I felt like the one dream I spent my whole life chasing after was now rejected because of a letter that I read. And so for me, I was kind of at the crossroads of like, well, does that mean I can't go to the pros? And if I don't go to the pros, then who am I? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, what direction am I gonna go on now? And what's my career gonna? I mean, there were just all these questions that I had. But I just said, you know what? I'm still going after it. I don't care. Like, these rejections letters ain't gonna do nothing for me. Then that's when I went D3, 7 games in, knee injury. And that's how I knew for sure, like, dang, like, what am I gonna do? I know I've always wanted to be in sports, but it was as a player.
Hmm.
I never thought of it being something else, man. And so, but that was a real wake up call for me. But what happens is when things like that happen in life, it's more of a redirection than a rejection. It's
Hmm.
like now my mind started to open up of what's possible, as far as like my career in the sports field. So I was just really starting to dig into that and trying to learn like, okay, what else can I do? What are the other areas that I can go in? One of the other passions I did have was I loved football cleats, right? And football apparel. Like, that was something I always loved, man. I remember just looking up photos of every NFL game and just looking at the outfits, man, and looking at the the swag and everything. Like, yo, those are fire. I was always into that, but I never thought about that kind of being the next direction I was going to go in my life.
Okay.
So, so yeah, so that injury, not seeing myself go pro, as much as that was a painful experience, at the same time, it opened up all these other doors that I wasn't aware that was available. And it was something I already enjoyed doing for the last 7 8 years of my life, which wasn't playing football, which means I wasn't playing football, but there was something else I loved that was in the sport that became the next thing.
No,
Yeah.
man. And that's so real, bro, because it's like as athletes a lot of times, and I always reflect, man, like I'm never going to, say that those 4 years for me in college and that 4 years in high school that I played, like those are
Yeah.
some of the greatest memories that I have, right? Like I met some
Sure.
of the greatest people, being able to overcome things with brothers and, having people that push you every day to make you so much better. But it is so easy to get like, have the, just the blinders on to be so focused on the
Yeah.
outcomes of being an athlete, right? And like for me, kind of getting recruited for high school and similar to you, man, like my dream, more so for me, like my dream was to always play like elite college football, right? Like I was a big college football fan. Like I'm still a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But like for me, college football was everything. Like my biggest idol when it came to football and sports in general was Reggie Bush. So like those
Mm.
USC teams back in the day,
Yes,
I
sir.
love him. And then Florida has some teams, man, with Tim Tebow and Percy Harvin and them. Like I was like the crazy college football fan, like big time college football, FBS college football. Like that was my dream. Like I wanted to be a big time college football player. And then by the time I get to high school, I felt like I had pretty good success. Like I was, a starter since I was a sophomore. I made all city and all of this stuff. But recruiting was tough for me, man. And
Mm.
to your point, man, like I was sending out bunch of different letters, emails. I was, had someone working on my film for me. I was going to all these big D1 prospect camps, man, and it was
Yeah.
crickets, right? It was crickets. It was like
Yeah.
it was a super humbling experience, man. Like a super humbling experience because I was getting a lot of praise locally and I was getting, people at my high school, believing in me, like, and I was, starting to believe in myself as well. And, I was always a solid player, but, sometimes things happen for a reason that's outside of our control.
Mm.
My goal was always to take the sport for as long as I could. But like, it was a humbling experience, man. Once signing day came around, and the only offers that I had were D2 schools, right? And I didn't really,
Mm.
I never expected that to be like my I guess my decision. I always expected offers to just be rolling and by the time I was a senior, man. And I still remember this signing day, right? So signing day is coming up, and I only got D2 offers. I had a little bit more interest from some smaller D1 schools for track and field, but like again, like you, I was laser focused on being a football player. So I remember, man,
Yeah.
signing day coming around. I got a few offers. I took some visits all to D2 schools, man. And I was like, I don't want to say like I was like completely embarrassed, but I felt a little some type of way, man. Like I didn't want to broadcast to the world that the best I could go was a
Mm.
D2 school,
Mm.
right? I remember signing day, man, and I didn't even announce it to the people that I spoke to every day. Right, like I remember when I ended up signing, they posted it on like Twitter, or like our local newspaper, and I had people just had no idea that you were going to this school, that you were going to IUP, man. And
Mm.
so I was definitely, so I went in there, man, definitely a little bit, hurt because at that point I didn't think I achieved my goal. And I fast forward, man, after my freshman year at IUP, where I got to touch the field as a freshman, I got to play a lot. I got some good accolades and things like that, man. Where I finally felt like centered and being like, all right, it doesn't matter what level I play at. I can have an impact as a football player, but more than anything, man, it was the people that I was able to meet at that college and the community that I was
Mm.
able to build, the friendships that I was able to build. And that was the first time for me. And I'm like, football, I love it. I love being an athlete, but I could also just be a better person.
Yeah.
That second semester,
Totally.
man, I also found Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So started to find a little bit more about meaning beyond just being an athlete. Started to really tap into my faith. But again, if I didn't go to IUP, if I didn't have the mission and the vision that I thought that I had in my mind that was planned, but I think God has something else in store for me, and I truly believe I landed in a place that I was supposed to land. Things happened in the way it was supposed to happen, for the greater good, and not just Walt's vision, but for a
Mm.
greater purpose, man. And it's powerful, man. It's so powerful, man. And you sharing your story about you, an injury right away, super early on in your career, but also something else coming up out of that, man. So it's definitely impactful stories, but also not our timing, man, not our timing, or not the vision that we set out,
Not at all.
but it was probably the greater vision that God had for us.
For sure. Nah, for sure, man. And if I could add, man, one of the things that was really crucial in there, and I love that you brought up just you finding a community and going become part of the Christian fellowship and all that like that. When I had that injury, I had to come back to New Jersey, was not my plan. I was like, I need to
Mm-hmm.
get out. I need to go.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm back here. I'm like, oh man. And sometimes God has to take you back to your roots to get you
Mm-hmm.
rooted. You feel me? And one of the things for me was, again, I didn't really know God. And so that injury also opened up my heart to want to know about the Bible, know about Jesus. And sometimes that's where it comes to for people, man. Like for me, I had to kind of hit a rock bottom. I had to see my dream literally be stripped away in front of me, if in order for me to even see an opportunity for faith to be part of my life, you know?
Yep.
And when I got back, this random dude, didn't meet him a day in my life, walks up to me, right? And he's like, hey man, we got this Bible study on campus. I want to invite you out. We're just college students. We love God. We love reading the word, and we just love encouraging each other. We want you to come out. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. I'm over here crying a couple days before because I'm still grieving this whole thing. And I'm getting invited to a Bible study, which has never happened before, especially not on the college campus. So I go to this meeting, and it's just like a bunch of like young 18 to 22-year-old, college students. And, based off college and what we see in college nowadays, ain't nobody talking about no Bible studies, man. We're talking about, when's the next party? When we gonna get lit? Like that's really what I'm seeing. But I saw a bunch of young people fired up about God, and I was like, what is happening? This was so unfamiliar. I remember sitting in there feeling like I didn't even know what to do. I was nervous. I was like, I don't fit in. I don't belong, right? But at the same time, they were so caring. They cared about me. They asked me questions about my life. I mean, they were asking me stuff that I don't even get on a day-to-day basis with just people, So I was really intrigued. And then I sat down with the guy who invited me. He said, hey, we'll do Bible studies for every week if you want to come. And I said, yeah, I'm coming. Like, I'm going. And so I came, did the Bible studies, man. And I was blown away by Jesus, bro. Like I was blown away by the scriptures, the truth. Proverbs was my favorite book. I read the whole book of Proverbs in 2 days. Like I was so like blown away by the wisdom in the Bible. And then 2 weeks later, I got baptized and decided to become a Christian. And then I led the Christian group a week later that was on that campus. Crazy. It's because they didn't have any like leaders there, like for that specific group. And they were just like, hey, you want to lead it? I'm like, I just got baptized. All I know is like 4 scriptures and that's it. That's all I got for you in my testimony. And they're like, all right, that's enough. I was like, all right, bet. So I'm over here. And that's what led me to my whole, and this is really important because this opens it up for the coaching side, because the last 9 years after that, 9 years later, well, between that and 9 years, I was a college minister, like full time on staff, and I was a chaplain. I helped some of the Rutgers here at Rutgers, New Jersey. I studied the Bible with some of the football players there. I mean, led so many different Bible studies, public spoke multiple times, preached a lot of sermons, all that stuff, man. And that's what really made the transition. Because before I even started my cleat business, which we'll get into that in a little bit, I was a minister for 9 years. So, so it's like, there was a lot in between that kind of like God built me up in as far as ministry, to have a heart to help people, and especially athletes, because that was my life and that was my story. So, but that's a huge part to kind of going into it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And let's stay right there, bro. Like, you have this experience, man, going to the Bible study, and getting connected with this organization, getting baptized, leading Christian groups on campus, man. So tell me a little bit about those latter parts of your college experience. And then how did your identity start to shape? And what was next for you, right? Like, did you just say, all right, I just feel I feel it, like I feel called to lead in this direction. I feel called to ministry. I feel called to coaching. Walk me just through the steps, and when it was it just a light bulb moment? Because faith is real, dog, and those opportunities is real, man. I have a very very similar story. Like I went to FCA one time, kept going back, kept going back. Next thing I know, I'm the student president of FCA, right? Like like for real,
Boom.
like what you spoke to, bro. Like it's so
Yeah,
real, man. Like it's
so
so
true.
real. But tell me about like how that identity shift started from like Charles Del Valle, the the football player with the injury, but now this man is leading all of these, doing amazing things as a leader.
Yeah, it's funny. That identity shift was huge because like I had to learn who I was without being a player. And because so much of my life, and I remember when I said earlier about when I first started to like learn about football, right?
Hmm.
And then realized, and my cousin was just like, "Yo, you can actually play," which was great. And I love my years of playing ball were some of the best years to this day of my life, man. You know this, man. Like
Hmm.
football brought so much to my life. I'm forever grateful for. But the big thing was like, at the end of the day, I didn't know who I was outside of it though. And so when I became a Christian, I had to literally practice how to like be a son of God without performance, without like trying to prove something, without like trying to compete. You know what I mean? Like I had to know what it was like to just sit on my couch and be like, God's proud of me. I tell you what, bro, I struggled, but it helped me to see like, wow, I just need to know how to just rest and just know that I'm good in God's hands, whether I'm a player, whether I'm doing the dishes, whether I'm taking out the trash, like, you know what I mean? Like just who I am. And apart from any role or any like performance thing that I need to do or result I need to bring, I'm already loved just as who I am right now. And that was the most powerful identity shift I had to have. And it was a revelation for me. Because my whole life, man, deep down in my heart, I didn't know how to like know that I'm still valuable outside of my sport when I had it too.
Hmm.
And this is why I tell players now too. I'm like, yo, don't wait till you're done with the sport to really have a strong sense of identity. You can learn that now. You can learn that while you're playing. And I'm just like, how much more powerful of a player you can be if you can step on a field and know that you're already loved by God. He already got your back. Like, and you don't have to go out there and like the wins and losses kind of determining that. It's like, yo, I'm like, this is why I'm so passionate about it, because I can only imagine what next level players can get to when they're able to like know who they already are in God and bring that to the field. You feel me? So,
Hmm.
anyways, but I think like for me, that identity shift is so key. Like I had to just learn, okay, I'm a son of God. He loves me already. Like, and then now I can start to do things from being loved and not to be loved, from already getting affirmation from God. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a shift I
Hmm.
had to do with trying to earn to now just receiving. And that was a major shift in my life, man. Now I can perform, I can produce results, I can run my business, I can coach, and there's not this pressure that I feel to prove something anymore. Like that's just not part of who I am. And now I feel more free. I feel like when I coach people, I'm not so tied into like their results equal my value type of stuff.
Hmm.
Like I just completely learned how to be firm in who I am and still bring results and help people at a high level. So that shift happened through ministry. Like that's what I really learned it, man. Like God really had to transform my mindset. And now, man, I'm still growing. I'm not perfect,
Hmm.
obviously, but I'm on this upward trajectory of like having that confidence and that my identity doesn't change based off of the environment I am, who I talk to, who I don't talk to. Like that stuff, I've really weeded that stuff out of my life, man. And it's so freeing. So
Nah, man.
that
Yeah,
was big.
yeah, bro. That's so powerful, man. And that's a big reason why I wanted to create this platform was to one share that testimony that you just gave and share stories
Yep.
like that but also provide inspiration for people, myself included, right? Like I love to be in this chair right now because I get to connect with people like you. I get to
Yeah,
learn about people like you, but I also know like there's so many other athletes out there that are like wrestling with what you just explained of like
for sure.
trying to please other people or trying to just figure out like who I am outside of that jersey, right? What's that meaning to me, right? Like
Mm.
if I don't have 10 catches in a game, right? If my team doesn't make it to the playoffs, right? Once I'm done, right? Like what's my legacy at that school, right? Like there's so many other things that I feel like athletes in particular are very
Mm.
driven to like these different rewards and these different metrics that measure our success, not
Mm.
just as athletes. A lot of times, right, we feel that pull as our value as people, right? And
For
I think I want
sure.
to be able to provide
Yep.
stories and inspiration that people like you, right, that you've been
Yep.
able to find something greater, something far greater, that's
Mm.
your value that's your value is much more impactful and tied to, and not that you have to rely on any of those outside sources and factors to tell you who you are as a man and as a person. So I think so
100%.
many athletes, man, so many athletes that need to find, right, need to figure out and navigate how. So creating this platform, just trying my best, man, and you having you on here just to be a bridge for people, man, and to bring people in and to bring people together, man. So appreciate you, man, for sharing that.
Definitely, bro. For sure. For sure, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, and next place I want to go, bro, is football cleat heat, man. A lot of our listeners, man, especially my football guys, man, we've been tuned in, man, to football cleat heat for some time now, bro. You talked
Yeah.
about like your passion for just getting fly on a football field, for seeing different trends on a football field, man. But tell me about the origin of football cleat heat, man. Where did the idea start? And then also, man, when was that moment where you realized like, yo, I can actually build something with this beyond just this hobby or just this passion of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So take me back, man, to the start of football cleat heat.
Yeah, man. Wow. So basically how it started for me, now I was a person who bought cleats on a regular, right, throughout my playing career. And I've always watched, like I said earlier, like uh photos, videos. I even found websites that kind of talked about what they wore, like the helmet, shoulder pads, like equipment, all that stuff. So after I was done playing, so my last year of ever playing like contact football was 2017, and it was semi-pro. I was playing semi-pro in 2017. We just won the championship, went to Florida, all that stuff. And that was the last season. I said, you know what, I'm hanging up the cleats. That's it. No more. And so I had all these cleats, man. So throughout my career, I had like 8 to 10 pairs just in my closet. So they were just in my closet from 2017 to 2019. And I remember I had to move, and I was looking in my closet and I'm like, man, what am I going to do with these cleats? I mean, I'm not training anymore. Should I give them away? What should I do? And I remember like thinking, I wonder if anybody will buy these. I wonder if I could just sell some of these or something. I don't know who was going to buy them. I mean, they worn, they kind of beat up. But I'm gonna see, what's out there. Because I knew some of the pairs I had were pretty rare. So
Hmm.
I'm like, they probably still have value. So I go online and I find this website called Poshmark, right? I don't know if you heard of Poshmark.
Yep.
Yeah. So I went on there and I said, I'm gonna just post these up. So I made an account real quick, post them up, and they were called you might actually know this pair, but the Nike Vapor Carbon Flies.
Mm-hmm.
You know about them
You
OGs,
know,
right?
yeah, absolutely, dog.
So I had a pair of yellow and black ones, man. They were nice, bro. Still in good condition. And I put them up there. I actually still have a picture of it. I could text it to you later, but I put them up there and I just threw a random price. I'm like, all right, they're used. Don't know how much they're gonna go for. So I put $50 or something like that. I think it was $52. And bro, they sold the next day. And I was like, oh, snap. So I get this notification on my phone, like, congrats, you just made a sale or whatever. And I'm like, whoa, somebody bought some beat up cleats that I'm worn, and you know what I'm saying? But they OGs though. And I remember selling them, and I was like, that was quick. So that probably means there's some demand on this. So that's when I started doing my research. And I went online, and I don't know if you're familiar with eBay.
Uh-huh.
And I went on there and I looked up the same exact cleat that I sold on there. And bro, this cleat was going for like $300,
Sheesh.
$400. I was like, oh man, I was like, should I
Take it back.
refund this and like repost that joint? but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just sell it to him. He got a good deal. I'm gonna just, he'll be happy with that. Whoever bought him. I don't know if it's somebody mom who kids play. I don't know who it was, but I sent it out, ship it, it's gone. But what it did was it started to spark this idea of like, wait a minute. So Are you telling me that there's already a gold mine for a business in my closet? Something that is literally just sitting collecting dust. And this is also encouragement, man. Anybody who got stuff in their closet and you got cleats, whatever, you got money just sitting in your closet, man. You got a potential side hustle right there. Somewhere. There's always a side hustle in someone's house. That's what I usually say already. So, but I ended up going on Instagram next day, went on Instagram and said, you know what? I'm just going to make a page about cleats. That's it. I'm just going to start it. And bro, I kid you not, football cleat heat was literally the first thing that came to my mind. Like, it's just like, I'm just going to do it because usually I tend to have this analysis of paralysis with stuff at the time. And I'm like, okay, this title got to be perfect. This thing got to be perfect. Da, 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 da. And I said, you know what? This is the first thing that came to mind. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to post. I'm just going to start the page. And then I put 5 pairs of pictures of my cleats on there. This was 2019. And I mean, bro, I was just like, I need some followers, bro, because I had, zero, nothing. I was starting from scratch. And I started asking people at my church, yo, follow my page, yo, follow my page. And I'm telling you, man, these guys and these brothers and sisters, man, they ain't play a day in their life sports, man. They don't know nothing about sports. I'm like, yo, just follow my cleat page, yo. Give it a couple likes. So I got my 2 likes, 3 likes. And I'm like, all right, we got something here. And I mean, after a week, it was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. It's just nothing's happening. And then what I ended up doing was, because I had to make a decision at that time. I was just like, man, am I gonna continue and try to really build something with this, or am I gonna just let it go? And I was like, man, maybe I could just find a way to like grow the page. Like, how do I grow a page? So I started going on Instagram and YouTube and started watching videos like how to grow your Instagram page and all that stuff. And there was this one nugget that I found in a YouTube video, and it talked about social media influencers. And I was like, social media influencer, what's that? I didn't even know what that was. And they were like, you can hit up influencers to like promote your page and stuff. Like you can pay them or you can give them like a product for free, whatever. And I said, all right, cool. So I went on Instagram and for like 3 days, I'm looking for like other cleat pages or like equipment pages and stuff. And I found this one equipment page. It was basically a whole page about football equipment. Like that's all the page was about. And in fact, the name of the page is called Football Equipment, like literally. So what I did was I created a DM. I typed it in like my notes section on my phone. And I said, okay, what am I going to say? Because I didn't know what to say. And you didn't have AI at the time, so you couldn't like prompt nothing. And so I was just like, okay, so hey, what's up? My name is Charles. I'm starting this cleat page and I'm trying to like sell cleats and just talk about cleats is what I love to do. I see your page is about equipment. So do you mind like if I give you a pair of cleats, you can like post my page and promote it on your page? And I ain't hear nothing back like days. I'm like, oh gosh. And then just a couple days later, at just the right time, he hit me back and was like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, you could totally promote your page, but but I don't do it for free though. There's a you gotta pay a fee, whatever. And I was like, all right, bet. How much is it? He said $30. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna give some context on why that is kind of crazy, actually, and a blessing, honestly. But this man had one of the best football equipment pages on Instagram. I'm talking like, I think he had like 70K followers at the time. Like, I mean, it was awesome. Like, page blowing up, bunch of engagement to this day. And I said, you know what? Yeah, I could totally do that, man. $30. And at the time, pages now, man, I mean, they charge hundreds now, thousands even. But at the time, I don't think it really was that big of a thing. Like getting $30 for a post was like normal. So I paid that right away. Sent the money, PayPal, like, let's get it. And bro, I kid you not, bro. He put that post up the next day. I had like 300, 400 followers, bro. And I already had content on it. I already had like at least like 5 to 7 pictures on there with some dope cleats. And bro, I started getting DMs. Yo, you selling these? Yo, how much are these? What size are these? And I'm like, oh snap. And I'm waking up to this, by the way. Like I'm waking up to these messages. And I'm like, whoa, what is happening right now? Notifications going crazy. And bro, I sold 5 pairs that same day. Bro, I sold the 5 pairs that I put on the page, gone. And I'm like, oh snap. So then I took that money and then started investing in some more pairs and stuff like that. And it started to snowball from there, man. Like that organic started going crazy. So then I reached out to him again, and then we did like a monthly thing. And then it just organically built. And I'm here to tell you, man, influencer marketing is still to this day super powerful, man. Like if you find the right niche and you link it up with somebody who's in your field, your page can blow up really quickly. And so that was 2019. Now fast forward 2025, we're sitting at over 70K followers, over 80 different NFL players that we currently serve right now. We've already worked with players from all 32 teams. Our cleats was already featured in the Super Bowl. Like, as a matter of fact, more specifically, McCole Hardman, who scored the game-winning touchdown at the Super Bowl 2 years ago, wore the Jordan ones that we sold him. And this was funny because he was on the Jets. You know, oh, by the way, the Jets is my squad, by the way. So he was on the Jets, got traded the same season, back to KC, and now he's got the Super Bowl winning catch. It's just like crazy how some of that stuff happened. But yeah, he was our client. And it's just amazing to see what happened these last 5 years, man. I never thought like this could really blow up. I mean, it was a hobby. I kind of put it out there. But yeah, man, it's been incredible and it's growing now. And now we're going to be working directly with the NFL. So we just landed our first NFL contract with the Las Vegas Raiders, and now we're going to be one of their top cleat suppliers now, which is awesome, man. And I'm going to be going down there to the facility during the preseason. So it's awesome, man. It's crazy. It's a lot more details than that, but that's kind of a snapshot.
Yeah, dog. Number one, congratulations, bro, on the success, man. You know, 5 years in, man, and 70,000 followers. But the impact that you're making, man, and the sky's the limit, bro. So shout out to you for doing that, man, and so important for you, man, to staying consistent, bro. And trying. You talk about influencer marketing, but also, man, doing your research, bro. I think that's something too that you mentioned. I think a few times, man, of just like really just diving into things that. It's something that you were curious about, and maybe you didn't have all the answers, but not just relying on like, I'm gonna just keep trying. No, I'm gonna find some solutions to these answers, especially with the world that we live in, man. There's so much knowledge out there, but we gotta do the work, man. We gotta do the work to kind of support that, and then also, man, you being able to step out on faith and reach out to somebody, right? It might have took a little bit, a few more days than you probably would have liked. Of course, as soon as we send that DMs, as soon as we send that email, we want a response right then and there.
I know, yeah.
Waited it out a little bit, right? You ain't jump ship completely, like you stuck with it. And the power of community again, man. The power of community again. Like there's people out there that have a passion that probably is aligned with some of the other passions that you have. So just like being able to reach out on faith, man, whether it's the LinkedIn direct message, whether it's on Instagram, right? Finding people that have certain influence or certain expertise in certain areas that you're trying to go into, man. I think as athletes, man, we sometimes are so prideful because we've always been that guy, right? We've always been the one that people come to.
No, true,
so
brother.
Being able to take out and leap out on faith and reach out to somebody else, man, it's so hard for us, right? But being able to kind of take off that armor a little bit, and let's say, hey, we're gonna try to make it work and collaborate. I think it's so important, man. So love that you were able to share that, man, with us.
Oh man, that's a great. I think that last part you shared should be a whole episode. Like that is so key, man. But nah, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And you know what? One of the things I think is really important, man. Anything that you're starting, man, like be a learner. Like being a learner is one of the most important skills that you can learn. And it's a skill. It's not something that just magically happens. Like you got to learn to ask questions, learn to do research, and then study out with the people that you're going to serve and what they want. Like I remember when I was building this page, the reason why I blew up was because I was asking my followers a lot of questions. I was just like, hey man, so what's your favorite cleats? What are the cleats you want to see? I was getting all the feedback and data from them and I was learning about them. And then I delivered on what they wanted. And I'm telling you, when you're able to match those two things where you really care about your customers, you ask them the right questions, and then you deliver on those things that they're asking about, that one they don't even expect you to do. It's a whole nother level, man. And that's how we got the NFL clients, because I started asking them what they wanted. And I got with my customs artists, I started doing my own research and I found the pairs, I sourced them, and once I matched what they wanted and found them, it was a sell 90% of the time. So that's how you do it, man. That is the essence of business and serving people, man. Being a learner. And to your point, like reaching out, man, and really building community, because you never know who you meet as you make those connections and people that come your way. So
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man.
yeah.
I got one more thing with football cleat heat. Then we're gonna move on to the athletes department, man. But as
Okay.
far as football cleat heat, man, I know when we spoke, me and you a few weeks ago, you told me a little bit about you helping other people launch their businesses as well, man. So tell me a little bit about that, man, and the coaching passion. I think comes from you, also coaching, and being someone that's been a character coach and those types of things, and being a chaplain. But now you're coaching people with football cleat heat first, and how they can launch their business, man. So tell me a little bit about that. And why kind of passing it and paying it forward was so important for you to kind of implement into the football cleat heat business.
Yeah, no, for sure. I love that we're talking about this, man. So one of the programs that I have is Sports Cleat Resale University. And so basically, man, it's just a crash course, man, on how to start your own football cleat business. And it doesn't even have to be football cleats. If you want to niche down to either golf, you want to niche down to basketball shoe. I mean, they don't wear cleats, but you can do sneakers.
Mhm.
You could do soccer. Like you can take the same exact principles that I've used to build my business to then build your own. And so you could do it as a side hustle or full-time income. And what really sparked it for me to build that was after you done like become really skilled and mastered certain things in certain areas, like when you keep doing that for a while and you don't feel like you're teaching anyone else, it starts to become a little unfulfilling. It starts to just, I don't know where it comes from, but I think God built in us a desire to not just learn and keep it to ourselves, but to learn and pass it down and to help bless other people. And so there was a point in my business where I was just feeling like, you know, I enjoy it, it's great, and I love it, man. I'm blessed 100%. But I want to help other people to be blessed. It's just kind of the way God set things up, man. And I felt like it was a time where, and this was early last year, where I'm like, man, I gotta just take everything I've learned, put it in a program, and teach other people and help other people do it, you know. And so I launched the coaching program last year in around May 2024. And one of my first clients, shout out to Joel, who was a wide receiver at Oregon State University. Right. So he's a wide receiver at Oregon State University. He's like, look, this is my last year. I'm a senior and I'm already thinking. See, he's already thinking about what business he wants to start. See, I'm putting this out there, guys. You don't have to wait till you're done to make something happen. So he was just like, man, I want to start investing now. So by the time I graduate, I already have an established business in place and I already know what I'm doing. So I was like, yo, this is the guy I want to work with, man. And so he signed up for the program. And at that time, I didn't have the full course and community yet. It was just one-on-one. So we did a one-on-one thing and I worked around the schedule because he had camp and all these different things. And what really blew my mind about him was like, even with the camps and everything, he still was like, I'm dedicating whatever hours I need every day to it. Whether if it was 1, 2, like he was so committed. And bro, so I coach him starting in like May. By September, he's already doing 2 to 3K a month. Like, I'm like, oh snap, this works. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to kind of do something yourself, but when you see other people have success with the same model you built, it just takes your confidence and just everything to a whole nother level, man. Like,
Sure.
I was like, it was confirmation. Like, I need to build something so I could bless more people, man. So he's still doing that to his day. He got his page. I mean, we started from zero. I remember making his bio and teaching him about where to get the cleats, where to source them, how to, like, all that stuff, man. Ground zero. And now his page has over 25K followers. He's that was 2 to 3K was last year. He's probably doing 4 to 5 now. Like, it's just so incredible to see, man. I'm really proud of him. And it really shows, man, like, and I felt that fulfillment there of just, yeah, I've been able to build this thing, but now I'm able to help other people build their thing. And I want to coach and I want to help them have that same success. And so that was the big thing for me, man. I realized that was my calling, and helping people in that way started way back when I was doing my ministry and I was starting my ministry work and all that. Like, it's always been a part of me, but I felt like I needed to now apply it to this new context. So now we have a community right now. You can still join the program. So it's a course with a community attached, and I do a Q&A every 2 weeks. And the course literally gives all the sauce, man. I teach you everything from how to grow your follower page, how to sell on all platforms, eBay, Poshmark. But by the way, for Poshmark, make sure you check your prices before you put them up there. All right? Don't make sense. But yeah, any platform, I teach you how to sell on those and how to master those. And then I also teach how to get your first NFL client. Like, I'm giving all the sauce on there, man. Like, there's no holding back. I want to help. And I really believe that this could be a great side source of income, whether you're currently playing, whether you're in college with the NIL, or you're done playing sports and you want to make some more money on the side. This could be a good opportunity. So,
Absolutely, man. So appreciate you, man, for dropping that free game right here on Athlete Alchemy, man. But all of my people out there, man, that have a passion for fashion and footwear and all those different avenues, man. Please tap in with Charles, man. He'll get you right for sure, man. He'll definitely get you right, man. So check out FB Cleat Heat. I know my football guys definitely are already tuned in and tapped in, but my other athletes out there and people out there, man, please follow along, man. So Charles, appreciate you, man, for sharing that. The last place I want to go, man, before we do some quick hitters and things like that, man, the athletes department, bro. Super excited, man, for you to share about this endeavor, man. I think this is the first thing that you shared with me once we connected off the Purpose Over Position call, man, and following along on the page, man. But tell me a little bit about the athletes department, man, and what ultimately like sparked this endeavor for you, man, and kind of just tell people how they can get involved with it.
Yeah, man. So the athletes department was something that sparked up for me earlier this year. So it was around January, February. Now, one big thing that I have a conviction about is anything that I build, I want it to be a reflection of who I am. And I always want to teach from a place of experience. So as you already know, with most of my life, I was an athlete and I've also been a business owner. I've also struggled with identity and had to rebuild that, right? There's all these different like avenues. So what the athletes department, what gave birth to it was just a culmination of all those three things. The fact that it's faith-based, right? So I use a lot of biblical principles. It's niche to athletes, right? And it's athletes that want to start businesses. So you have that trifecta there of just all the experiences I've had in my life, and knowing that there's hundreds and thousands of other people that were just like me out there that will benefit greatly from this opportunity. And so what the athletes department is all about, man, is for athletes that want to start businesses and have a faith-based foundation to how they started, right? And what I do is I really help coach people on getting clarity on who they are, their identity, and their relationship with God as the foundation, right? Like learning how to understand like what gift God has given me. Like, how can we dig in there, ask some more questions, get more clarity on it? Because throughout my coaching career, everyone has a desire and a gift, right? Because we're all made in the image of God, and we all have a gift that he's given us, right? Like, whether that's to speak, to lead, to whatever it might be. But then the next question is, how do I then take that gift and who do I serve with it? Who's going to be the demographic of people? And then how am I going to give that demographic of people a result from that gift that I bring to them? And I think that's where it can get fuzzy, right? And I honestly believe that's when the enemy likes to get in there, because he's like trying to confuse and like, oh, because if this man or woman steps into their calling and they're clear about who they're going to serve and how they're going to serve them, oh man, they're going to be unstoppable. So let's confuse the clarity on that. Let's get them all distracted so we could I'm very aware of what the enemy's doing, man. But one of the things that I think is really great about the group is it's a community, and I want to build it as a community. And that's not going to be on me, man. I want everyone in there to feel like they can contribute, that they feel seen, they feel heard, that they have value to bring. But we're all making money, right? We're going to keep it real. We're going to make income, right? But also impact, okay? And I really believe that this group is going to help foster a community where people can be inspired in their walk with God and know that business is a big part of that journey. And business is all in the Bible. by the way. You know, I kind of get people that say, yo, you talk about God and business, like God and money, like that's kind of, you know, we ain't really gonna go there. You know, that's God don't really care about my. Well, hold up, wait a minute. There's a tons of scriptures. As a matter of fact, Paul was a tent maker. I don't know if you knew that, but Paul had his own business, right? Look, I can do a whole serious extra video on that, but I'm here to encourage athletes, man. At the end of the day, like you can take everything you've learned from being a player, all the things you learned as far as like your knowledge of the game. You can take the discipline, the hard work, that dedication. Now let's redirect that to a business that you can create a legacy off of, where it doesn't just impact you temporarily, but it can impact your generations, for your family. You can create wealth. You can, you know, like that's really what it's all about with this community. And so yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. We're still building it out and looking to launch it in the next week or two. And it's going to be, it's going to be all community based, and everyone's going to be able to get a ton of resources. We'll have a Q&A every other week as well. We'll have prayer requests on there. People can share their wins. There'll be a bunch of resources on how to get clear on their calling. I mean, all types of stuff, man. So we're creating all these resources, and I'm here to walk with you along the way, as I'm also on my journey, you know, because a lot of people that are coming in, they're going to be new to business and stuff like that. But I'm also on my journey and at the level that I'm at, and I'm still want to walk with you and because I know what it's like to start, and I know there's a lot of pitfalls and mistakes we can avoid when we have that guidance, when we have community, when we have mentorship. You know, there's so much that you can like not have to bang your head on the wall for. So it's but it's really, really going to be an encouraging place, and we're really going to encourage people about the Bible on there, because I believe that the scriptures, man, the Bible is so powerful in helping us be empowered to what we're called to do. And yeah, I feel like it's going to change lives, man.
Absolutely, dog. And I'm so excited, man, to see this come to fruition, bro. Like, I mean, the vision alone, bro, and the work that you're putting in, and just like where your mind is, bro, where your heart is the place that so many people need. That community, myself included, we talked about it. Like, it's so impactful, man. To build something like you're building, to be able to again pay it forward. Pass down your experience, pass down your knowledge, and share it with other people that are trying to navigate this space, man. Like you said, right? Like I think a lot of times, whether it is just coming from our communities and coming up how we came up is like we want to make it a lot. You talked about it from Jersey going away to school, right? We want to make it out, right? We always talk about making it out, but also, right, like a lot of times, like we don't have the fundamental steps to build our own, right? To set up our businesses and things like that, man, right? Like so for you to have that mindset to help other people create those dreams and create those opportunities, man, that a lot of athletes, man, like you said, we got the discipline, we got the skills, but a lot of times we put all of that time, that discipline, and all of that energy into the sport or into doing something to serve something else, right? Instead of serving God, and then also trying to create something that we truly, truly believe in, that every day we wake up. And me and you, we talked about it, man, about like that freedom piece, right? Like if you're working, and again, I'm not saying entrepreneurship is for every single person, right? But again, it provides certain types of freedoms that you don't have to rely on, someone else's business or someone else's schedule to dictate your happiness and to dictate your success as well, man. So where your heart is, man, and I truly see the vision and believe in it, man. And I already know, man, it's going to change lives for sure. And the question I have for you is, the best way for people to kind of take this first step, is it to complete the locker to legacy assessment? If you could talk a little bit about the best way for people to tap into the athletes department.
Yeah, man. The best way to tap in is so you can go on my Instagram account. So it's I am Charles Del Valle at I am Charles Del Valle. That's actually it right there. And when you go on there, actually, you go to the link and you'll see the locker room, the legacy assessment. And so that's the best place to start, because I put it on my heart, man, to do an assessment. So for most people, you notice that when they go to the doctor, what's the first thing they got to do before they get there?
They got to fill out that assessment.
They got to fill out that assessment, right? And the assessment gives them the exact accuracy that they need to kind of see where they're currently at in their health, right? In different areas. And so for the assessment, usually usually it's done when, you know, you kind of have some type of either emergency or some type of stuff like that, or a checkup. But with this, I niched it down to two different areas. So it's life after sports and life during sports, right? Because there's going to be different needs for those two arenas, right? So you can take either one of those assessments depending on where you're at, because you're in one or the other. So what it does, it's a quick 8 to 10 minute assessment, and it'll give you a really good idea of where you're at in your mental, emotional health, your relationship with God, as you're on your sports journey or after your sports journey. And you're going to get an understanding of where you're at as far as your clarity around your calling and what is that God's calling you to do. And the two other areas is a growth plan. So you'll kind of get a rating on that. And what is it? Identity and purpose. Okay, that's also going to be another area. So you'll have all these different areas that you'll get an assessment on, and at the end, it gives you your score. So it's either going to be low, medium, or high. And in each one of those categories, when you see your results, you're going to actually get some guidance based off of where you're at. It's going to automatically generate that for you, which is really cool. So, and then what we could do is at the bottom of there, you could actually book a call with me. Okay. And then we could talk about your results, kind of see where you're at and see how we can help you. Most likely I'm going to lead you to the community and because that's always going to be a best fit. And so most people in the community have already taken the assessment. As a matter of fact, we're going to make it a requirement before entering the community. That way you can come in having a good idea where you're at, so that when we help you, we can give you the right prescription, if that makes sense. You know, kind of talk about with the you know, the doctors, right? If they don't know where the symptoms are, right? If they don't know kind of what's going on, then they can't really guide you in the right way. So in the same way with the athletes department, when you come in, we want you to have a good idea where you're at. That way we can help you right where you're at, versus like trying to cookie cutter a system around you. So yeah, so that's the big goal with that.
Okay. Absolutely, man. And I'll definitely share the link directly to the Locker to Legacy assessment in the show notes for sure, man. So definitely excited, man. Excited to get this out, man, and get the athletes department moving. Cause bro, like I said, it's powerful. It's super powerful, bro. And I'm super excited to see it unfold, man. Cause it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be something special.
Yeah, amen. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. And I got a few quick hitters, man. And then
Okay.
I have my one final question for you, man, that I ask all my guests, and then from there, man, we'll just share how the best way people can find you. And again, I'll have everything in the show notes as well, man. So let's get into these quick hitters, Charles. The first
Okay.
one I got for you, man, is who was your favorite athlete growing up? I think you already covered this one probably, but who's your favorite athlete growing up?
Hey, Ray Lewis, man, all
There
day.
you go.
And Ed Reed.
Okay, yeah. That man, I'm a Steelers fan, so I got some long nights.
Woo!
So them Ravens Steelers rivalries, man. Ed Reed and Ray Lewis gave me a few nightmares for sure.
Real talk, real talk.
All right, next
Yeah.
question I have for you, man. What's your favorite cleat or sneaker of all time?
My favorite cleat or sneaker of all time. Okay, so my favorite cleat of all time is 100% the Nike Vapor Carbon Flies, which we
Okay,
talked about
okay.
earlier.
Yep,
So
the
and
life changing one.
yes, sir. And my favorite sneaker of all time was my first pair of Jordans. It was the patent leather ones,
Okay,
Chicago's. Man,
nice.
it's my favorite pair.
Classics right
Yeah.
there, dog. Classics. And then my next question for you is there anything that you're watching or reading right now that you would recommend to our audience?
Oh, 100%. So there's a book called 10X is Easier Than 2X, and it's by
Okay.
Benjamin Hardy. And so it's basically
Okay.
a book just about how if you want to grow exponentially, you have to actually become someone you've never been before. But if you want to grow incrementally, meaning 2X, then it's just keep doing the same thing that you're doing.
Mm,
So
okay.
boom, those are the two lines. I
Bar.
highly recommend that book. 10X is Easier Than 2X.
Okay, that's a bar right there, man.
Yep.
And then my final quick hitter question for you is there anything else that you're like nerding out about these days? For me, like I'm really listening to a bunch of like marketing podcasts, reading a bunch of marketing books. I'm listening to Alchemy right now, which is his book, but listening to the audiobook. Anything you're like nerding out about?
Oh yeah, I'm nerding out big time on Myron Golden. I don't know if you
Yep,
guys heard of him,
yep.
but
I'm tapped
Myron
in.
Golden is the man. This dude has transformed, helped me in so many ways. I'm just watching his free YouTube content. You feel me? So
Absolutely.
I'm nerding out on his stuff. I'm reading his books, and I'm even watching the podcasts as he's on. I'm
Hmm.
all over it, man, because he comes from a faith-based perspective as well, and those principles, and they have really helped me and even inspired me to start the athletes department, to be honest. So, yeah, highly recommend Myron Golden stuff, man. His material will blow your mind.
Absolutely, man. That cash flow catalyst, Myron Golden, man. He is the man, bro. He is definitely the man, bro. And we were talking about like the faith based, principles and things like that, especially when it comes to business, man. He breaks it down in a way, man, and definitely somebody. So
Yeah.
appreciate you for sharing that with the audience. But yeah, Myron Golden, man, he's definitely the man. One of my boys. He's one of my co-founders of our nonprofit shop. He actually put me on Myron Golden. So definitely, man,
Let's
definitely tuned in
go.
and tapped in, man. He dropped some gems for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely,
Yes,
man.
he
And then my
does.
final question for you, man. I asked this to all of my guests, and I think you broke down a lot of them today, and that were big and impactful moments. But for you, man, what would you say was your alchemy moment, right? So what was that like one moment that you remember when you think that things just started to shift, when you saw yourself beyond Charles, the football player, and you realized the true impact that you can make, worldly.
Yeah, I think for me, the big shift for me was really realizing that anything is possible for him who believes. Because I think a big part of my life, man, there were just roadblocks in my ability to believe in myself and who I am and who God made me to be. But once I started to like really believe that, that's when everything changed, man. That's when the big shift happened. And yeah, so I would recommend it, and to all the listeners out there, man, like your ability to believe will take you so far in your life. And it's really that simple. Like it's really that simple, man. Do I really believe what's possible through me? And I think once you have that shift and you have that revelation, man, anything's possible. So
Dog, yeah, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you again, for another gem right there, bro. But greatly appreciate you for your time, man. I'm super excited to one be in community with you, man, and shout out to our guy Vad again. Shout out to Purpose of
yeah,
Over
shout out.
Position for
Yep.
bringing us together. But really excited, man, to continue to stay in touch, and to stay connected. Through us staying in community, but also, man, I'm definitely looking forward to tapping in with the athletes department myself. And I'm gonna encourage many of my guys to do the same, bro. Because I think what you're building in that community, is so impactful and so powerful. So anything that I can do, man, through Athlete Alchemy and through, myself, and my community, man, please always feel free to reach out to me. And I'm super excited, bro, to see all the amazing things that you do, continue to kind of impact our world and our community, bro. So one, greatly appreciate you, bro, and two, I can't wait to see all the amazing things you do down the line.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, man. Thanks for having me. It's an honor, and love the questions you shared. And dude, I'm so proud of you and just what you're doing, bringing the spotlight, trying to help the athletes, man. We're in this together, and I'm really grateful to be here, bro, and inspired to see where you're going to be headed as well as this thing grows. So thank you.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, and listeners out there, man. Keep tuning in to Athlete Alchemy, man. We greatly appreciate all the feedback that we've been getting, man, and for all of y'all's the comments and the views out there. But please feel free, if y'all have any additional questions, definitely feel free to send them our way. Please, I'll drop all of Charles's info in the show notes. So make sure that you're checking out the athletes department. Make sure you're checking out Football Cleat Heat out there, and all the amazing things that Charles is doing, and all the other things that Athlete Alchemy that we hope to continue to bring you all as an audience. But all of y'all greatly appreciate your time here, and until next time, peace.
Peace.